Grimsey. Joining courtside second referee, please welcome once again Mr. Jake Passier. The athletes here for the
You're twice as popular as me, Green.
number 5 cities first.
Back once again here at Coolangatta Beach. You're watching the Australian Beach Volleyball Championships 2022. This is the men's semi-final. We just saw the women's semi-final. The number 1 seeds, Nicolaidis and Phoebe Bell, took it out over the number 5 seeds. And we've got the same ranked affair here in the men's. We've got the number 1 seeds, Izac, Carracher and Mark Nicolaidis, taking on the New South Wales pairing in the number 5 seeds of Sam Halley and Mateusz Zieba from New South Wales. Mateusz obviously hailing originally from Poland. As our wonderful MC and court announcer, Ben Abbott, announces the magnificent athletes on to court. And we're about to get the show on the road.
First serve, touch serve, Sam Halley. Opens up, he's secure.
First points to the number 5 seeds as a little bit of a sprinkle comes down here. We saw it really rain just earlier in the previous semi-final, but there just seems to be some lingering mist and sprinkle from the passing heavy showers that seem to be either up in Surfers Paradise or further south where we find ourselves here in Coolangatta. But we've got so much beach and courts here that, hell, it could be chucking it down on court 47. But here on show court number 1, it's as ideal as we could make it. Carracher with a fast set. What a super effort the boys have got today in the number 5 seeds taking on the number 1s. Carracher and Nicolaidis have been absolutely on fire this summer. They tore their way into the Cobram Grand Final and just got upset. Pushed, who was it? McHugh and Burnett all the way, but it was their semi-final win over Hodges and Maxey that was quite surprising for most, but I would suggest not to them. But and then they came away with a silver in Cobram, and then went one better over their rivals in Burnett and McHugh in Mollymook. Came away with the gold there, and they just absolutely tore it to shreds. And they've quite rightly so got themselves the number 1 seeding here at the Australian Championships. Of course, we are missing McHugh and Burnett, who are playing World Tour event in Mexico.
All right, I don't play. Clearly I don't play. Not with those skills.
Yeah,
Serve from Mark Nicolaidis. Smiling assassin. And we take the first end switch at 4-3. Carracher and Nicolaidis just hitting the lead for the first time today. Mark, obviously a local boy, Queenslander. His home beach is Sandstorm Beach. He obviously loves training there. And his first Australian Beach Volleyball Tour was actually the Queensland Open. Sam Halley. The absolute whippet on defense. Couldn't even move on that one. What a cracker. And another handling error. So we've just touched on the fact that there's a little bit of precipitation around. So it's as unnoticeable as rain could be. But when the ball's wet, maybe a little handling error from Mateusz is it's going to see him maybe bump set a little bit more. And boys have got it on a string at the moment. One of the things that Mark and Izac have been really, really exciting, an exciting aspect that they've brought into their game is the fast attack. Oh, that ball went out. My apologies. My apologies. Either way, they're still fast. And their attack is very exciting. So you'll see them shape up for a 2-ball, maybe a sneaky jump set every now and then just to draw the blocker. But then that fast attack to the outside is just so spectacular. It's such a quick, dynamic play. It's high risk, but also very high reward. If you get it wrong, you know, you've probably got you've got a reasonable chance to get a decent attack away, or at least a roll shot to two players on the opposite side that are going to be out of position. Oh, Sammy again there. He can't quite control it. He knows, puts his hands together, almost praying to the gods. Volleyball gods to just give me one. Just give me one. Let me get into my work. And of course, with the sweaty nature of the game, but also the wet nature of the weather, brings about a little bit more sand sticking to the body. So just the player comfort level is just strange today. 6 serving 8. We'll have an end change, the second one of the first set here of the men's semi-final. Not much doing at the moment. No team really taking it to the other or really taking the game by the scruff of the neck. This is obviously a semi-final, folks. So what colour medal they're trying to battle for is really up for grabs. And just both teams testing the waters and trying to feel each other out here on a Sunday morning semi. But with not much doing, there's a 3-point advantage to Izac and Mark. Make that 4 points with the trickle over the top of the tape from Izac, whose home beach is now Sassy, but grew up on the sands of Manly, which we sadly saw wash away. Oh, Sammy Halley. Getting a crank cross court. Yeah, we sadly saw the Manly event scrapped, mainly because we didn't have a beach anymore. As far as necessary things go, a playing surface is quite high, and not many other sports. I can only think of washouts at cricket and tennis that might be also affected, but you know, you can get the big rope out and dry it up, but when Mother Nature has just taken away several square kilometres of sand and surface, it's not conducive to even a scratch match, let alone an Australian finals or an Australian championship. So we've rejigged it, and here we are with the Australian Championships of 2022 at Coolangatta Beach. There's plenty of sand here in Queensland, we know that. Oh, roll the dice and just trickles over. I think that ball hit the tape 3 times before going over. Whew. Almost gave it a helping hand, and we're only 2 points. The difference here with Zieba with the serve. Follows it in for the block and gets it. Nicely done from the big pole. Whew. We're going to go into a technical timeout with our number 1 seeds leading by just the solitary point, 11-10 here in the first set of the men's semi-final. Back on the broadcast, but not quite back in action after a technical timeout, as our first referee, Darren Grimsey, and our second referee, Jake Passier. Some magnificent men and their whistling machines, bringing us back out into action. Grimsey just needing some attention from our court operations staff, maybe some reinforcements, just with the softer sand or slippery nature of the platform. But we're underway. He's happy, we're happy, and Zieba is touching the net again, but it's on the serve. Oh, big bang, cross court. Mark Nicolaidis, he's a little pocket rocket. We already called him the smiling assassin, and he's Mark Nicolaidis, as it's spelt on his Instagram handle. And while we're at it, Izac Carracher, as it is spelt as well. Couple of C's, couple of R's. Speaking of a couple of C's, we'll be seeing CC Rondina from the Philippines and her partner Bernadette Pons, in the Australian Championship final, taking on our number 1 seeds. They went through the qualifiers. They are a world-class team, but had to do the hard yards and ended up seeded number 15, and they found themselves up against the number 1 seeds in the gold medal match. Catch it live on SBS Viceland at 2 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, you will also find the men's gold medal match. The winner of this game will be playing in it. Who that is, we are yet to see. What's Sammy got for us? Can he claim some hands? No, he can't. 2-point buffer still held by the number 1 seeds, Carracher and Nicolaidis. 3-point lead, rather. Great diving save, but Izac Carracher couldn't quite get the biscuits in that regard, and it's a 2-point buffer back now. Still within striking distance, our number 5 seeds in Zieba and Halley. Dusting ourselves off takes a little longer when it's wet. Short serve, but he's so fast. Opens up the court. Zieba's everywhere. Oh, nice work. Big mark.
Sorry.
End change, but the lead remains the same. 3 points to Carracher and Nicolaidis. Huge storm clouds over Surfers Paradise right in the distance, but that's tens of kilometres away and I believe not tracking towards us, so we might get some pretty decent weather and decent play in today, or at very least in this game. It's even become quite glary. And speaking of glare, Izac Carracher has blinded his opposition as he blasts one past the block. Oh, big block from Carracher. He's an absolute monster. I dare say he's so well proportioned that he doesn't look that tall, which is a very strange comment to make, but I've made many of them. So when you see Burnett or McHugh or Maxie and Tom, they've just got limbs for days. But Izac is equally limb gifted. And he's still 198 centimetres, but he just doesn't look it somehow. I don't know what's going on. Mark Nicolaidis himself, the shorter of the two, 185, so he's 6'1". Squeeze a centimetre in.
Tough serve and a couple of points here for the number 5 seeds. Back to within 2. Pushing hard. No running. Barely any freeze. Level playing field here on centre.
Oh, that ball goes just wide. And Zieba himself he's not the shortest man out there or on the tour, but finding himself at the block, he's so dynamic though, so I shouldn't sell him short. He's so athletic. But Sammy Halley finds himself in the net. Far too close. That would have been silly to try to go for, and he pulled out. And we're going to go into a timeout called by the guys in yellow. Could it be an omen if they're wearing gold? The winner of this will go into the gold medal match. You will find the gold medal match at 3 p.m. for the men on SBS Viceland and 2 p.m. for the women. The gold medal match being broadcast on SBS Viceland. But a quick turnaround for the loser of this match, with the bronze medal being played for the men at 12:30, and preceding that at 11:30, the women will be playing the bronze medal. But you will find that exactly where you are right now, whether you're watching a Coolangatta on the sands here, some reason listening to me, but also on YouTube at Oz Volley for the bronze medal match. They are the only places you will find the medal matches today. At Oz Volley on YouTube for the bronzes, and 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. for the women's and the men's gold medal matches, respectively, on SBS Viceland. Ooh, and a handling error on the spike. Just overcooked it a little bit from Sammy Halley. We touched on heights before, and according to our official online stats, Sam Halley is 188 centimetres. And if that's true, I'm 203. $19.15, Halley with it. 2 ball, swatted back by Carracher, and then put on the back foot as Halley gets one away, and the diving Carracher can't get it up to Nicolaidis. 1 point saved. 1 set point saved even, as our buffering catches up to the scoreboard. Apologies if you're following quite closely at home, watching at YouTube. Crushed from Carracher, loses his hat, wins the set, 21-16, going the way of Carracher and Nicolaidis, the number 1 seeds, 1 set to love up here in the men's first semi-final at the Australian Championships at Coolangatta. Major events on the Gold Coast. Find your next Queensland event at queensland.com/events. Queensland, a place like no other. And you are here at Coolangatta Beach. Well, I am. I don't know where you're watching from. Send us a link or a comment from where you are in the world or in Australia watching this men's semi-final. Set number 2 action coming at you right now. Big stuff block from Carracher. Ends up winning the joust. Point still alive. Nicolaidis, the ladies' man, can't quite put that one in. Goes cross-court and wide. First points to Halley and Zieba. Halley with it at the moment. He's such a dynamo on defense. I named a comet after him. Halley's Comet. Stay with me. Great jump serve. Well passed. Good set. Bangs away. Loses the hat again and his point. I think he caught it. Surely he doesn't train for that. Jumps up, swings high, catches the hat, wins the point. He's got all the tricks. Young Izac Carracher. He grew up on Manly Beach watching Julian Prosser, the governor. And he swapped from indoor volleyball when he was at the University of Southern California in 2019. So, you know, not new to the sport, but fairly new to the sand compared to some of these athletes. For example, Mateusz. And Izac, just back on some of his stats, he was ranked 3rd in college for the NCAA in Division 1. What a champion. And he's come back to Australia to represent Australia on several occasions, but I think maybe one of his career highlights might just be the first ever Australian Beach Volleyball tournament he played, and it was a South Australian Open with his dad, Craig Carracher. Isn't that sweet? Izac, he's a son of a gun. And he's got the ball with a jump float now. 2 ball from Zieba, gets the out of position blocker on a tool. And Mateusz, originally from Poland, but he's made Manly home for quite some time now, and we'll absolutely have him. And what a rig he's got. Absolute legend of the game. We love having him here every year. On every sand. That's a big swing from Mark, the smiling assassin. What a man. Exploding out of the sand. 4 points to 2. Carracher, Nicolaidis, leading Halley and Zieba. 4-2 and 1 set to love. Oh, great serve. Catching him quite high. We touched on it earlier that when it rains, it takes the humidity out and more balls will start to drift long than they will drop. Such is the nature of the atmosphere. Goes long and off the top of the hands. The number 5 seeds in Zieba and Halley trail just by the 2 points still, 5-3 serving 5 rather. But they also trail 1 set to love. They need to win this set to keep gold medal hopes alive. Australian Championship up for grabs. Not quite in this game, but just to keep it alive, just to give you some context. And what a line turn from Mark Nicolaidis. I know you're watching it closely, folks. It's almost a look-away slap down the line. Good hands from Zieba. Halley with it. Nicolaidis gets the defense, cracks it across. That's a big swing, folks. Now they're getting into their gears. working their way through things.
7-3.
Jet propulsion seemingly out of the sand from Mark Nicolaidis. Oh, 2-ball. Probably the right option. But not very well executed from Mateusz, and they'll call a timeout and go into our umbrellaed area. They trail by 5. The Volleyball World Beach Pro Tour, the Futures event here on the Gold Coast, will be featured here at Coolangatta Beach, March 30 to the 3rd of April. Go check out the fist pumping Nikki Laird right here at Coolangatta. She'll be up later today at 2 p.m. on SBS Viceland as well if you want to catch more of Nikki Laird fist pumping and going for gold. She'll be at 2 p.m. SBS Viceland. The bronze medal matches will be played at 11:30 and 12:30 respectively, and you can catch them here on YouTube at OzVolley. You're already watching it, so stay with us. The loser of this match will be taking on the loser of the other semi-final, strangely enough. We're not quite sure who that's going to be just yet. And we're back in action now with Carracher. Standing jump float. Big attack, gets the ball back up. Nicolaidis just lines him up and knocks him down. If he was bowling, he'd have a 7-10 split and be upset, but beach volleyball season just split the middle and go for a winner. Easy. Oh, there's the fast attack that we're used to seeing from Carracher and Nicolaidis, and they were somewhat ready for it as Izac shuts out the attacking Halley and Zieba. They race away to a 7-point lead. It's all coming out of them now. Short shot into the net, though. They're rolling. They're balling now, folks. They've put the opposition under so much pressure that the errors are coming thick and fast from the number 5 seeds. They'll be disappointed with their performance thus far in the second set here. And that margin has raced out to 8 points. And looks like there's no sign of stopping. Oh, the run has stopped, but I don't think the momentum has. The one-handed wingspan block from Izac. So no avail as some thunderclaps heard in our effects mic earlier this morning, but I don't think there's anything behind it. So I think we've seen the most of the wet stuff. You may be looking off in the distance and checking out things behind, but those things behind the court here are fairly non-threatening. Oh, speaking of threatening things on court, Mark Nicolaidis, my dear Lord, brings the thunder and the lightning. Very, very frightening if you're on the end of it. There he is, off the top of the block. Little comeback swing from Halley. Perfect shot. We've seen every skill available from Mark Nicolaidis. He's got it all. Great set from Mark. Izac cracks it.
It's so easy. Nicolaidis, technical timeout. In this second set, the scoreboard of 15-6. Nicolaidis in control. We'll get it back out there in a moment's time. 1 foot in the goal of the match. Half a step away. Switching it.
Check timeout, folks. Short break in play. Huge lead, 9 points to Carracher and Nicolaidis. Seemingly insurmountable. But the future of beach volleyball is healthy in this country if the Youth Beach Volleyball Championships are anything to go by. Coolangatta Beach right here, right now. Well, on the 28th, which is tomorrow. From the 28th of March to the 31st of March. Live via the Oz Volley channel, if you are watching right now. And then we'll move into the Coolangatta Beach. Your nominations. Will close very soon. In fact, according to the graphic, possibly 2 weeks ago. Anyway, we're back live. I'll speak to the boffins or the buffoons, whoever's in charge. Oh, great touch from Mateusz. He is a very, very skillful man. Possibly one of the more ripped individuals you will ever come across. Even in the latter stages of his career. Oh, bang, but long. They've got points to work with, so why not try some stuff? They got a 1-set-to-love lead. They were up by 9 points. Just roll, boys, just roll. Work towards adding another dimension to your game. Every chance you get. Here we go. Bump set. Nice. Nice. But he's got him. Zieba puts the clamps on. Just a lightly sprinkled fist pump underneath the net there. Quite subdued. He knows they really have to build some momentum if they're going to take this into a third and deciding set. They got some work to do. They strung a few points together after tech time. And a service error. Cut short that little run of points. Carracher and Nicolaidis. No one goes off the tape and out. As we wait for maybe just a couple of glitches to catch up with our buffering or even our boffins out on the court with the scoreboard. There we go, all score and all square now, 17-9. I know you YouTubers love your buffering and any lags and drags with the broadcast. You are quick on, so I will be as quickly onto them as I can for you. 10 serving 17. Nice pass. 2-ball jump set. Got him. Probably slightly off balance, Mark. Didn't quite get the elevation he was expecting, but his hands were absolutely supple. And subtle in their delivery to Izac, who put it away in the end. 18-10, racing away, 3 points away from taking this semi-final out and going into a gold medal match, which is where they've found themselves every round of these championships, or these tour rounds, I should say, here at the Australian Beach Volleyball Tour, which is great for the young duo. They find themselves the #1 seed, so a lot of pressure on, but they found themselves probably surprising a few people in the first couple of rounds, but they are where they belong here. Our tour leaders, Carracher and Nicolaidis. Have brought up 10 match points and a jump float, regardless, or much to the dismay of the... Oh, he's got it. Oh, short stuff. Big swing. Goes away of a tool. Izac and Mark into the gold medal match again. This is the summer of Carracher and Nicolaidis. Halley and Zieba are not done yet. They're going to go into the bronze medal match. Catch that here at the Oz Volley channel at 12:30 today. And preceding that will be the 11:30 time slot for the women's bronze medal match at Oz Volley on YouTube. And then you can catch the gold medal matches live on SBS Viceland at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock respectively. Congratulations to all teams. All still alive. Medals up for grabs. Thanks for your company. We'll join you back here very, very soon for the continuation.